As we go into the last round of the Fatal Four Ways for King of the Ring and Queen of the Ring 2026, it is looking more and more like the Judgment Day show. I've been looking at the brackets, thinking about what happened this past Monday, past Friday. What I'm going to say leading up to tomorrow night's SmackDown, which will be held in Rhode Island. So I won't be able to see it till much later, or probably Saturday. I'm actually. I told you, Javon Evans was a wild card that you wanted to keep an eye out for. What I didn't expect was a Raquel Rodriguez, and then followed up with the Liv Morgan, winning their Fatal Four Ways. We were watching Monday Night Raw in Paris, and Liv Morgan coming out to a happy birthday sign. And as much as I think Liv Morgan deserves all the accolades she's been given, did she really need to win this Fatal Four Way and move on throughout this tournament? It really doesn't make sense. I'm now only hoping that they give us what makes the most sense with the last Fatal Four Way: Charlotte Flair versus Jade Cargill versus Lyra Valkyria versus Ruca. But it's starting to seem like more and more these days WWE wants to troll us. They want to find ways to think about giving us results that make as little sense as possible, as long as it's unpredictable, right? This unpredictable bad creative that they keep pulling off. Now, I honestly, I didn't hate Monday Night Raw this past Monday. I actually enjoyed what I was watching for the most part with the Queen of the Ring tournament. One thing that did irk me, though, was the finish. The finish was cheesy. Okay, it was formulaic. It was just another BS example of this Fatal Four-Way concept being used in such a way that it's just predictable as hell. Just looking at my notes for how it ended, with Becky Lynch breaking up a pin, manhandle slam on Bliss, then Chelsea Green breaks that pin with the unprettier, another finish on Lynch. Then Morgan sneaks in, rolls up Chelsea Green for the victory, sudden victory. Really, the exact opposite of what a King of the Ring or Queen of the Ring tournament is supposed to represent. Okay? This is getting now closer to something like a Money in the Bank, defeating the purpose. Then you look at the King of the Ring tournament match with Javon Evans, Seth Rollins, Tall Tonga, Ricky Saints. I honestly called it. Javon Evans, I wanted him to win. I told you Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker would cancel each other out, and they wouldn't even make it to their the semifinals. But of course, the way that it did happen, that I really can't predict, because I wasn't expecting so much just interference that was what it's becoming. It's not even a matter of a tournament between competitors. It's a tournament to see which match gets the most interference and who does it the best. So we see the Vision out of nowhere, just when we thought Seth Rollins was going to get the win, right? A spear from Braun Breaker after Austin Theory tried to attack Seth Rollins and costing Rollins the match. I almost did think that Tall Tonga, he was looking like it, right? Even Ricky Saints, they had their moments where you kind of almost wanted to believe that one of them was going to win. But out of nowhere, Evans hits the OG cutter on Ricky Saints, makes the semifinals. So Now, I'm going to just tell you, I'm thinking about it. I mean, I want what I want, what makes the most sense is Charlotte Flair, but who knows? Maybe they cancel Charlotte Flair and Jade Cargill. Like a lot of people are saying, can't they cancel each other out? Honestly, I'm starting to like believe it. Maybe they'll put in Sol Ruca just to push her a little bit, as if the IC title isn't enough. I'm still going to go with Charlotte Flair. I still think that makes the most sense. She makes the most sense moving forward. We have a match between her and Liv Morgan, which would still be fun to watch. I still think Io Sky is going to move on. I still think that it's going to be Flair versus Io Sky. That's still what I'm banking on. With the men, more and more. Now I really want Finn Balor to go all the way. I've been listening to some say that Finn Balor going all the way wouldn't make sense, wouldn't be a good main event. Him facing Roman Reigns at SummerSlam, I think it would. I honestly think it would also make sense. It would work if he goes up against Cody Rhodes. Either one. You make for a great match. Still not the favorite, though. LA Knight is still the favorite after his promo on Monday Night Raw. He's getting just more and more spotlight. He is the favorite. Now, they could easily go with Jey Uso. I don't think they're going to do that. I think it's going to be Finn or LA. I think it's going to be LA Knight versus Roman Reigns. It's probably the most likely scenario. Now, Finn Balor would be a good one. I could also see Finn Balor because it also makes sense with Finn Balor versus Dominik Mysterio. I'm thinking more and more that whoever wins this match is going to win the whole thing. That's just what I feel. Why? Because I just don't see Dominik Mysterio going the distance through this tournament, number one. And number two, Oba Femi, which, I mean, it's funny. Maybe many of you are probably wondering how I have not mentioned him already, but it just doesn't make sense to see how they squash the storyline between Oba Femi and Brock Lesnar in time for a SummerSlam match against either Roman Reigns or Cody Rhodes, okay, and build that story up. I'm going to put it out there right now, okay? Make a note of it. Oba Femi, WrestleMania, not Roman Reigns, not even Cody Rhodes. It's going to be Oba Femi versus Gunther at WrestleMania for the WWE Championship, okay? Now, Gunther, I am not expecting him to win the title before SummerSlam. I could see it, and it'd be great. It makes sense, but no, I don't see that happening. I'm not predicting that would happen. What I'm making the probability on is that he does not win the title at Night of Champions. He and Sami Zayn cancel each other out after what's going to be a triple threat. They have a match, a kind of a grudge match at SummerSlam that maybe determines the number one contender. After SummerSlam, I think CM Punk is going to come back. We're going to get a match with CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes. That's going to end in Cody Rhodes retaining. It'll be just a fun match between the two. But then Cody Rhodes will have to face Gunther again. One-on-one. This time, Cody Rhodes will lose the title. And that'll be that. And then Gunther will hold the title for as long as he can until WrestleMania. Oba Femi, I'm already predicting, is going to win the Royal Rumble. I think they're going to push him to the moon with the WWE Championship. Roman Reigns, on the other hand, is going to hold that title to WrestleMania when he faces, they're pushing for The Rock, but I'm guessing, I'm willing to bet that, I'm not banking on it, I'll put it that way, but it would make sense is Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins. It would make a lot of sense. After the triple threat match between Punk, Rollins, and Reigns, you have the Punk match, Punk versus Reigns. Now you're going to get Reigns versus Rollins. It would make sense. Of course, the only one that I would even think to win the Royal Rumble next year is Braun Breaker. Okay, I could be wrong. I would love to see it too. I'm more than happy to see Braun Breaker go all the way and main event WrestleMania. I just think it's going to be Oba Femi. And then one day, we could even go 2 years from now, 3 years from now, Oba Femi versus Braun Breaker will be a main event. So Welcome to Chris's Chaos. I am your host, Chris Cortez. If you haven't done so already, please hit that like or subscribe button. You can join us at Channel Cortez 33 on Instagram and Twitter. We're going to do a recap of Monday Night Raw, very brief, then get into a little bit more discussion on what to expect for SmackDown, and that'll be it. So, well, I'm like I said, looking at this tournament, it's just amazing that so many, so much Judgment Day involved. It's hard to believe, but I don't think they're going to luck out. But yeah, definitely could be wrong. So we get that opening segment with Oba Femi, right? And he's not even talking about the tournament that much. He's mostly just keeps hinting at Lesnar with talking about how he and Paul Heyman both agree that when he says they don't believe it, they believe in spoilers rather than predictions, right? And he's going to win the King. Here's a spoiler: he's going to win the King of the Ring. He's also going to take out or collect the head of the Beast, Brock Lesnar, right? Dominik Mysterio interrupts him, calls him a rookie, right? And now he's a 20-year veteran. I did crack up on that. Tells him to bend the knee. Femi refers to, he does attack. Eventually he gets hit in the chair shot by Jade. It doesn't even affect him. Just takes out Mysterio, tosses him across the ring. Says, although Rey Mysterio is your father, next week I'll show you why. I'm Mysterio's daddy. Great. Somehow he's able to say something like that and make it work. Backstage, got Rollins, right? He's essentially talking about how far or how low the Usos have come, now following again in the footsteps of Roman Reigns. And how he's essentially put the vision in the past. He's focused on the King of the Ring tournament. He's going to win the tournament. It's going to go on to SummerSlam, face Roman Reigns. A lot of people want to see it, but even him just mentioning that, like, the vision is in the rear view mirror suggests that they are not, and that they were going to attack him. So, made sense. They set it up, whether you like it or not. That's what they set it up with this promo. And of course, Jimmy and Jey approach him and how he was disappointed in them. They almost try to sick Jacob Fatu on him. He's just like, not even sweating it. Jacob really didn't look like he was about to do anything anyways. So we get LA Knight and coming out with a promo. That was a good spot. Jey Uso comes out. It was a lot of energy. I liked it. I'm really looking forward to this match. These two guys really have some good ring chemistry, mic chemistry together when they talk to each other. I could see definitely a nice match between them. That's why this would make sense. Like, if Finn Balor wins the tournament, goes on to face Reigns, you already have a match for LA Knight. It's with Jey Uso. Okay, a SummerSlam match. It's between those two. Okay, they got the most heat between each other, so it'd be great. LA Knight tells Jey Uso, "Screw your family," and Uso, of course, blows up. It's again, it's interesting how far where it's going to go. I'm just curious, but again, LA Knight is kind of looking like the most favorite. So sorry, I am a little bit tired, going on fumes here. Been teaching every day, working it every day, and prepping for classes at night, running, getting ready for a half marathon. So Definitely tired, but had to get this video in. Had to. So, yes, forgive me if I start to rant a little bit or just repeat myself. We had that Intercontinental Championship, the Women's IC Championship between Ruca defeating Lyra Valkyria. It wasn't a surprise. I mean, what do you expect? She's defending her title successfully for the first time. Looked good. I mean, I thought the Soul Snatcher looked better than the match with Becky Lynch, that's for sure. So, not bad match. Let her keep defending it. Hopefully, gets better each and every week. And of course, that men's Intercontinental Championship between Penta and Rey Mysterio. I enjoyed it. I just got to say, I mean, I thought it was great, like for what it was. Keep in mind, Mysterio is 51 years old. Okay, a little facts for you. Rey Mysterio is 51 years old. I had to look back and see some of these stats. He's had a 30 year plus career. Okay, and he really hasn't taken that many breaks. It was 1996, okay, 30 years ago approximately, when he debuted in WCW. Okay, that's like what, like maybe about 6-7 years after his official first match as a wrestler. But he immediately became a mainstay in WCW. Anyone who watched Monday Nitro during the Monday Night Wars knows and can, attest to what I'm saying. Mysterio was a fixture in Monday Nitro as part of the cruiserweight division. He was just a star attraction already, immediately. Okay, and he wrestled and he worked like he had been doing it for years, for like a decade. It had been a few years, but again, he was still green. He was still working his way to get on such a stage as WCW in its heyday. Goes on to WWE. I believe it was around 2002 was the start of his WWE run, and he's been there since. Won multiple titles, world titles, intercontinental titles, tag team titles. He even had a stint in Lucha Underground with Penta. Guys like Penta and JC Mateo. Of course, he went by another moniker, but we won't get into that. Guys like Ricochet, aka Prince Puma, right? Mysterio is just a living legend, and he's one of those guys I'm gonna miss not being able to see every time I would go to a Raw or a SmackDown. I was like, Mysterio, and people that I know that don't watch the wrestling on a regular basis, they know who Rey Mysterio is and they enjoy watching him. My nephew really liked watching Rey Mysterio. He liked singing the song. It's one of the greatest entrance themes of all time by POD, if I'm not mistaken. And to watch him go with Penta, the way he did and do the moves that he did, it's just amazing. He still looks to be in great shape at 51 years old. I believe R-Truth is 53 and is the oldest current wrestler on the roster. Rey Mysterio is not far behind. So he's doing great. But there's no telling how long he's going to keep doing this. And I think they know that. So you get Chad Gable asking for forgiveness from Penta, from Rey Fenix, from Rey Mysterio about his actions, trying to make a mockery of the Lucha Libre wrestlers. And they all kind of forgave him, but they kept telling him to go seek another person that you had wronged. I think he's going to end up talking to Otis and Tozawa and Dupree, Alpha Academy. Because they're really the first people that he really wronged. Who knows? They might take it even back to his original tag team partner in Alpha Academy. But anyways, Javon Evans. And then we eventually get to that main event. I don't want to get into it too much, but there were some great spots, including Javon Evans. The match was fun. It's just the finish, and the interference that kind of threw me off. Not that I was, again, not upset that Javon Evans won. Now I'm looking to see Finn Balor win. So, I do think that Dominik Mysterio is going to. I'm willing to believe he'll win. He may not win, but I could see Lesnar get involved in SmackDown, the match between Femi and Mysterio. Io Sky, Raquel Rodriguez. I could see Liv Morgan getting involved, but messing it up for Raquel Rodriguez and costing her the match, leading up to a very soon a match between Raquel and Liv, maybe even all three, Roxanne Perez, all members, all women members of the Judgment Day in a match, triple threat match. That's how I see Io Sky make her way. More interference in this. This is interference of the ring, and that's that. So we're gonna get. I'm really looking forward to the match. Like I said, whoever wins this fatal four-way match between Jey Uso, LA Knight, Royce Keys, and Finn Bálor, I think I could see winning the whole thing. Unless it's Royce Keys, and I'm no offense to him, but I don't necessarily see him just going on to win a match and then face either Cody Rhodes or Roman Reigns at SummerSlam. It's most likely going to be LA Knight. And my favorite to win is Finn Bálor. That's subjective. And then, of course, Queen of the Ring, looking to see Charlotte Flair make it to the finals, win, and then face Liv Morgan. We could have the flip side, where Alexa Bliss gets involved, tries to help Charlotte, quote unquote, help, and then cost her the match. We could see that. We're going to see that reveal of the rematch condition. God only knows. Maybe they'll two refs, no holds barred, submission match. It has to be a submission match. I really don't have any particular guesses, but we'll see. We'll see. It's maybe something that involves ensuring that there are no disputes, that maybe there's two refs, multiple refs. Who knows? Maybe even a lumberjack match. I don't know. But kind of funny that they have to wait. They have to set up a whole week just to get this. But we're going to see the rematch in 2 weeks. Now, could this end? Perhaps this could be all she wrote, after this. Maybe the match will be between Cody Rhodes and Sami Zayn, which would be very interesting to see Sami Zayn actually win the title and then lose it at the following Sunday night's main event, which they've announced already. I could even see that. That would be funny. But then, again, you would drop it. It would be great, to see Gunther have a match at SummerSlam for the WWE title. But at this point, I'm not so sure that's going to happen. So, other than that, there's really not much for me to say. Who knows? Will we see a return of Drew McIntyre, Randy Orton? Probably not. And of course, the Fatal Influence storyline. They're going to have, they're going to be building up a match between Brie Bella, Paige, WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, and Fatal Influence. So stay tuned for that. Yeah. And that'll be we'll talk a little bit more about this after SmackDown and get into Monday Night Raw. I'm very much looking forward to the semifinals. I am so done with the Fatal 4-Ways. But that's your predictions for tomorrow's SmackDown. Okay. Sorry I was completely exhausted, but yeah, let's see it. Finn Bálor, Charlotte Flair, I'm going. Or LA Knight. Yeah. Y'all have a good night. Don't forget, hit that like, subscribe button at Channel Cortez 33 on Instagram, Twitter, X. Y'all have a good night. Take care. Bye.